Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring another set of movie reviews, and this time we're going to be talking about two Angelina Jolie films, and that is Gia, which came out in 1998 as an HBO original production, as well as Girl Interrupted, which came out in 99. So, I haven't expressed this a lot on my channel, and also, I know I've been gone a while. I'm sorry for that, but I'm back now to rant from the webcam. But yeah, I haven't expressed this a lot on my channel, mostly because it's sort of developed over the past few months. This realization of mine, and that is that I absolutely love, and adore Angelina Jolie. Not only is she likely becoming my favorite actress of all time, along with Catherine Isabel, of course, who I have there and such, and Julianne Moore and Jessica Chastain and stuff like that. But there's definitely a very strong case in my mind for Angelina Jolie being my favorite ever, because her roles in these movies, in Gia and Girl Interrupted, I can't say I've seen anyone do better. I can't say I've seen anyone do what she did with her performances in these films. Absolutely incredible work for her on screen, and really excellent, very, very good movies in general. I have Gia actually on an unrated Blu-ray release right here, which is very cool to have gotten. Very nice physical media, folks. You gotta buy it. Because streaming is eventually going to get taken down and go away for different films, so and as a collector, come on, you gotta get the physical, as well as Girl Interrupted. I would have the Blu-ray of this one, but I like the cover more to the DVD. We'll still get a hold of the Blu-ray at some point, though. Yeah, here is that. So yeah, we'll start off by talking a little bit about Gia. Now, Gia is actually based on a real person, Gia Karanagi, who is a model, basically, in the I think it was the late 70s, early 80s. Apparently the world's first real supermodel. She wasn't just in magazines. Her persona sort of transcended that, and made her into sort of a global star. Beyond just photo shoots and such. So it kind of covers her rise and fall. So it ends up being a pretty, somewhat depressing story, but they did a terrific job with Gia, let me tell you guys. It was an HBO original film. I'm not sure if it had any kind of theatrical release at the time. I'd imagine it would have to some extent, but either way, I absolutely loved it. Angelina Jolie as Gia. I've seen some say that she didn't look enough like the real Gia or something. I think there are shots in certain ways her makeup looks in certain scenes where she does resemble her a little bit. And either way, honestly, it doesn't matter, because Angelina Jolie, she did so well in the role that she is basically Gia Karanagi to me, that she did so well that I accept whatever she looks or doesn't look like. Okay? But yeah, I loved Gia a lot. It really invested me. It broke my heart. I did tear up, a couple times. One kind of in the middle and one towards the end of it. The score was pretty nice. The supporting performances. Let me just make sure I have the names right here. Okay, hold on. Okay, Elizabeth Mitchell as a close I don't know if I want to say co-worker, but someone she gets very close to, as Linda, who is also based off a real person. The relationship is sort of kind of pushed to the forefront more so than in reality, apparently, but it's still one of the core dynamics of the film. I think worked really, really well. It becomes sort of toxic, but yeah, really got me invested, man. So Faye Dunaway, you have Mercedes Ruehl. So yeah, the whole cast is pretty good, but of course it's Angelina Jolie's show, and just the charisma she brought in both of these movies. And, I'll talk a little bit about it more in Girl Interrupted, I'm sure, too, but the charisma, the depth of emotion, just incredible. Of course, she has this unmatched sex appeal, honestly, and beauty that I think worked so well for Gia. When she walks into a room, you take notice. In the case of both Gia and Angelina Jolie, so I think that fit like a glove, to say the least. Like I said, it is a depressing story, but it's not without its moments of either dark humor or life or just general sort of joy. It's not without that either. So it was a very well constructed movie for me, and it's spaced out excellently. And it was about, I don't know if it was. Let's see. Well, I could just read the back of it, right? Okay, it's 125 minutes, so a little over 2 hours long, but it justified all of it for me. So please watch Gia if you haven't. It's on HBO Max right now, naturally. But yeah, now Girl Interrupted, based on a book starring Winona Ryder and Angelina Jolie, as well as a pretty all-star cast in general. I don't know, I should say all-star, not to insult it, but with a pretty talented cast in general. Some who would go on to do even greater things, who had even greater work to come. Of course, you had Angelina Jolie, you had Winona Ryder, you had Brittany Murphy, younger Elizabeth Moss, who's gone to do like Invisible Man and Handmaid's Tale, Clea Duvall, Whoopi Goldberg, even young Jared Leto. But yeah, it follows basically a mental institution in the late 1960s. We have Winona Ryder as Susanna, who's our perspective character, playing the woman who wrote the book about her experience. And then Angelina Jolie ends up playing this girl named Lisa, who is definitely, I think, maybe Angelina Jolie's most complex character. Maybe. Again, she brings everything to this. The charisma, the energy, the vibe, it's just completely unmatched. No one can do what Angelina Jolie does. But yeah, the depth of emotion, the anger, and everything else, it's incredible work again for Angelina in this movie. Winona Ryder does a good job too. She was also one of the producers for this. She's our POV character, main protagonist, but Angelina Jolie honestly stole every scene she was in. What can I say about Angelina Jolie? She just brought it. She automatically had your eyes on her whenever she'd walk into the room once again in this movie. And I love the complex dynamic that develops between Susanna and Lisa. It has a lot of depth with a lot of it engaged me throughout. And then the whole cast ties together nicely as well, but it's definitely strengthened by the relationship between the two of them. And I'm not taking anything away from Winona Ryder either, although I feel like her range definitely has a roof that Angelina Jolie's doesn't. But Winona Ryder is still good in this movie, and she's only gotten better over the years too. It definitely goes for it goes for some depressing elements, of course. I respect this movie a lot for actually, as far back as 1999, going into different forms of mental illness and taking an honest, caring look at it. That I think, of course, still ended up having its humor to it, but it was very real, and not a lot of movies or shows were really going into it at the time. So definitely props for that. It's definitely something that needs to be talked about. So yeah, I really love the Girl Interrupted as well. So yeah, please watch Girl Interrupted. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed these two reviews of mine on these Angelina Jolie movies, Angelina Jolie, possibly my all-time favorite actress now, I think a true inspiration. I love all she does with her humanitarian work as well. She, in fact, just joined Instagram. She's almost 8 million followers already, but she's using it for a good purpose to talk about the innocents that are still being harmed in Afghanistan currently. We don't have to go into that right now, of course, but she's been doing this sort of work since the early 2000s at least. So it makes me proud to be such a big fan of her. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.